Hey, Steve Mignonti here at High-Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts with a 1957 Chevy 150 Handyman. Most people see a 57 Chevy, they see a two-door and they think it's a Nomad. Well, here's the thing. In 1957, total Chevrolet sales were 1.5 million units, of which 6,284 were Nomads. Well, this is not a Nomad. We'll get into that in a second. This is actually a 150 Handyman, of which 15,087 were built, or about twice as many Nomads. But the unique thing about these and the Nomads is the fact that these are two-door station wagon body styles, very popular with hot rodders, customizers, and restorers then as now. Of course, 1957, the third and final year for the Tri-5 Chevy dynasty. New for 57 were a few noteworthy items at the front of the car. The fenders they had these indentations right here, which are on all of them, from the 150 to the 210 to the Bel Air to the Nomad. And on upper cars, there was a chrome or a gold-plated inlay right here, but the same fender stamping was used on all of them. And these don't do anything but, help sell cars, give the car sort of a marine vibe, if you will. And also at the front of the car, these missile-style hood sights right there, new for 1957. Two of them, when one would have been fine, two is better. That's GM styling at its best right here. And of course, the front pancake effect right here, the rollover, seen on 55, 6, and 7, an iconic style. And also at the front of the Chevy, all Chevys from 1957, or passenger cars anyway, the vent right here, the cowl vent that would have fed air inside the car, was replaced by this. Over the passenger side headlight right here, there's an actual functional vent which would take a duct into the heater motor and the blower motor and bring air from outside the car inside the car. The only downside to these things, if you've ever been in an LA traffic jam, especially in 1957 with no emission controls on cars, you get a snoot full of unburnt carbohydrates thanks to this thing right here. So it went 1 year with this effect right here. But again, it helped to tidy up the front of the car and also allowed for a lower cowl line right here. And again, no vents right here, which were seen in 55 and 6, but 57, a smoother cowl structure right there. Now, of course, this is a two-door wagon. We'll get to the hows and whys as we make our way down the side of the car. But first, let's look under the hood and see what we find. These were available with either the 6-cylinder motor 235 or the 283, which is new for 1957. But on this one here, we find neither of those things. Rather, this is a 383 small block, bolts right in. And this one is kind of a unique car. And again, we know it was born a 6-cylinder because the radiator is on the front side of the radiator wall. On the V8 cars, the radiator was on the back side. You might say, why was that? Well, the 6-cylinder engine was longer than the V8, which meant that the packaging for the radiator had to be down here, whereas on the V8 cars, it could be tucked inside behind the radiator wall. That's one identifier of a 6-cylinder factory-built car in 1957. Also 55 and 56, the Tri-5s all have this trait. So again, very tidy under the hood, and the 383 has been fortified with tube steel headers, an Edelbrock dual plane intake, and Holley Sniper EFI hiding under that open element air filter right there. So the beauty of the Sniper, it's programmable, and they come pre-programmed with a setup that's ready to rock and roll, pretty much. Good idle, good power, good tip in, and the Holley Sniper is one of the go-to aftermarket EFI units. Speaking of EFI, you could actually get the Rochester mechanical fuel injection starting in 57. Yes, you could get that in one of these if you really wanted it back in the day. I would say a handful of those were built. Some Corvettes certainly were built with Rochester fuel injection. So it's a fuel-injected 57 Chevy, but not from the factory. It's a Holley Sniper. Let's get back to the body on this one here. So again, the Nomad had a very unique look. The front clip of the car was basically the same, the fenders, the hood, everything. Even I think the windshield was the same. But with that said, the roof stamping was very different. Of course, the Nomad had a canted angle. The B-pillar right here was very different, whereas the full door frame on the 210 and the 150 and the Handyman had this built-in window frame right here. On the Nomad, there was no frame here. The glass was exposed, if you will. And speaking of the glass, around here on the Nomad, this would be a different structure right here, which was actually slidable, and all very different greenhouse. And beyond that, the roof on the Nomad was fluted with ribs that were pressed in, whereas the Handyman did not have that feature, nor did regular four-door station wagons. But the beauty, again, of the Handyman is that it was, and is, a two-door structure, and a lot of hot rodders like this tidiness of a two-door versus a four-door wagon. And beyond that, with this, it's well, with a four-door, it's harder to get your doors blown off. But again, with that 383 under the hood, no problem with that. So let's open the passenger compartment, see what we find. This one's been upgraded in many ways. However, as a 150 Handyman, this would have been born with minimal options. Again, the 6-banger, radio, and clock delete plates in place. You can see on the other side of the dash right there, that sort of little TV screen right there. That is the Holley fuel injection programming unit right there. Nicely done. Has an I did it chrome-plated steering column, and basically nicely done gauge cluster inside. A mixture of stock and custom. We call this one a resto mod for sure. But one thing that's kind of unusual about this, the folks who finished this car did not use disc brakes. Rather, the original 11-inch drum brakes, front and rear. Nothing wrong with that. If you're driving sanely, there's no harm with drum brakes if they're properly adjusted, and they are on this car here. So let's go on the back, and we see here, again, the 55 Chevy, the iconic styling right here. Again, a Bel Air would have had a big piece of trim right here, aluminum. But again, the Handyman and the 150 and 210 wagons would have had the same stamping as a regular Chevy station wagon of this period of time. And at the back we see something kind of unique, and again seen for the first time in 1957, the gas filler not on the side of the body but rather hiding right here behind the tail fin. There it is right there. So fill the tank up with gas, you use this side here. Got to wonder how many pump jockeys were confused. Hey lady, where's the gas tank? Behind the driver's side fin, right there. Now we all know. Now going back inside this car, this is again a two-door wagon, which is nice. There's still plenty of room inside to get things done. We lowered the tailgate right here. And unlike so many modern cars with buttons you push, you bang your head, you basically just use your wits and your common sense to open the back of this one here. And the back here is, the back seat is well finished out. And you can see here carpeting on all surfaces and naugahyde here. So very well presented on, show day. This could take some trophies for sure. Really nicely rendered. Again, correct paint inside here. And just good attention to detail all the way around on this one here. To learn more about this 1957 Chevy, don't call it a Nomad, it's a 150 Handyman two-door station wagon. Go to the High-Octane Classics website and check out the photo gallery. Till then, let's take this one for a ride.
All right, we are doing a little drive time with Dan today in a 57 Chevy wagon. This thing is so nice, lowered, fuel injected, overdrive transmission. Absolutely beautiful car, lots of electronics, ostrich skin interior. It's got the whole sniper kit on it, fully digital gauges in front with a digital speedo. We've got all of our engine management system from the sniper system here as well, and look at how cool having that digital. Such a fun little car, truck, SUV, what do you want to call this thing? I don't know. But having the overdrive is just kind of killer. You can take this car anywhere, it drives like it's on rails. It's nice that it's lowered. You can hear that fuel injection motor going. There we go. Yeah. What a nice truck. Car, SUV. What do you want to call this? Shane, what are we calling this? It's just a wagon, right?
Wagon, yeah.
Just a wagon. Some people call it a Handyman. Everything works as it should. Nice little side vent windows. Yeah, someone put a lot of money in this. The body work on this thing is absolutely incredible. The paint is near show quality. You could just get in this car and drive to the beach, man. We're gonna listen to this thing go through its gears and just have some fun with it. There we go. Whoa. Hey, for a little, I think it's got the 283 in it still. This thing goes pretty good. The fuel injection is on point, not a single bog. Shifts right through and then boom, overdrive. And we're just cruising at nice low RPM. Absolutely fun. This is a fantastic driver. It really goes well. It's got aftermarket heat in it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I could see myself having fun with this summer for sure. Downshift's nice. Guys, don't miss your opportunity to buy this car at High Octane Classics. We go through every single one of our cars front to back, make sure that they're the best that they can absolutely be. This one I can tell already is not going to need a lot of refinement. It was built by a restoration shop, as you can tell in the details on the body, the way they've done this car. The suspension is absolutely on point. Drive line is perfect. Downshifts, upshifts, does everything it's supposed to do. Runs nice and cool. Speedo works, all tack works. Everything is hooked up properly. They did a really nice job with this build for sure. I like it. This is a fun little truck. $69,900 buys this thing. You couldn't build it for double that. Check us out on High Octane Classics, Auburn, Massachusetts. Thanks.